Two archetypes more dichotomous you cannot find. Musty, it's time for our first match.
Yes, it is. And this is going to be a little problematic for Axel here. Chipp's so fast on the screen that it's definitely very difficult for Axel to maintain that space super consistently, because from like almost anywhere on the screen, Chipp can just be on you in an instant.
Yeah, absolutely. The Axel has to play pretty predictively. You have to try and put out a big hitbox where you expect the Chipp to come, but that's a good start. Oh, counter hits coming back and forth.
Oh, that was a really, really smart burst from Nevermore, actually. Just that command grab has so much whip recovery. Completely easy punish. But Noisette getting the pressure started now. Oh, and the flip.
Has the meter, hasn't quite spent it yet. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, that predictive keep out, where you're expecting Chipp to come from a grounded approach, throw out the grounded hitbox, close the round out. Noisette up around, also up the burst, but Nevermore got the pressure going. Okay, burst is expended, DP out for Nevermore.
I definitely think Chetoo is definitely not valued as highly for Chipp in this matchup. We saw that Nevermore was trying to pressure with it on Noisette in the corner situation there, but Axel has that 5-frame 2K, covers so much space, so if you're not willing to go for that overhead, it will cost you and you will get kicked, and that is going to be a pretty quick game one for Noisette there.
Yeah, very convincing. Really, really good job playing the keep out game. Looks like has a pretty good handle on whether or not Nevermore is going to take to the air. Also saw very little meter expenditure in that matchup. Lots of bursts flying through, but I'm surprised we didn't see more meter coming out of anybody. Ooh, attempted gold burst from Nevermore. I like the look. Getting the meter is one of those ways you can try and get yourself an advantage in these matchups where if you already have the advantage, meter gives you a way to keep it when you have flubbed something, which I'm a big fan of. And here we see the reversal.
Reversal super on the 6K. Good call out from Noisette. Just trying to make sure that Nevermore can never really get that momentum, because if you can prevent a Chipp player from getting momentum, they're going to start getting a little bit desperate. And when a Chipp player gets desperate, that's when their life bars disappear.
And speaking of disappearing, Noisette's life bar pretty low, but the command grab lands. RC for Noisette. L can't quite close it out, but there it is. BRC does not buy quite enough time for Nevermore to react, and a quick little jab for Noisette, closing it out. We are playing best out of 5. So Noisette, if they close this one out, is going to have to win one more. Nevermore still has plenty of game to play.
Yeah, and just the 2Ks coming out. It looks like Nevermore is actually really struggling to deal with Axel 2K like in the middle of his pressure. It's definitely very hard to bait, as it does have pretty low. Oh my goodness, are you serious?
I love it. You know Nevermore is going to want to run in, right? It's Chipp. Chipp does Chipp things. It's the aggro brain syndrome. So if you see a Chipp dash up in your face, going for the reversal super when you still have enough life to spare, because Chipp's combos are meaningful, but not going to kill you from like 50% most of the time.
Yeah.
The risk reward is really heavily in your favor in that situation.
No, I absolutely agree there. It looks like Noisette has a complete beat on what Nevermore wants to do. Oh, okay, nice counter hit. Calling out the mash 2K. I like that Nevermore is now like purposefully like leaving like small gaps in this pressure just to try to call out Noisette for trying to get out with that 2K.
Yeah, I agree. After you've already got a lot of evidence that Noisette is really, really willing to challenge your gaps in pressure, putting them in intentionally as a frame trap instead of just a structure state is a really good choice.
Yep.
We see Nevermore is on the board this time. There's that 2D challenge from Noisette again, though.
Yeah, it's definitely tough after hitting Chetoo, because I mean, if you hit that raw, that means that they were probably stand blocking, and you cannot combo into the overhead with that. So it means that you kind of just have to play the situation, and being -4 on hit with that Rekka means that you can't really deal with actual 2K in that situation, besides just spacing it out.
Yeah, and speaking of spacing, Noisette's super also pushes Chipp back quite a lot. So even on block where you would expect the super to be punishable, Nevermore wasn't able to convert, and in fact Noisette closes the round out after expending the super for no damage. One more will make it a 3-0.
Yeah, and this is just not looking good for Nevermore right now. Oh, and the call out with the sickle spin there. 6K. More pressure. Ooh, I love the cross-up Alpha Blade there.
Yeah, I do too. One of those things you can do to try and interrupt the Alpha Blade coming out of Chipp is try and throw. Noisette, in fact, did go for it, did not land because cross-up and spacing.
Oh no.
Good jump out on the defense from Noisette. Causes a whiff from Nevermore.
And
Oh,
the
that's
DP
death.
comes out. I actually don't think Nevermore is even DP'd. He's only DP'd, like, say that about a lot of matchups for Chipp, though. A lot of Chipp's matchups literally come down to, oh, he wins most of the time until he isn't. And that's typically how the character's been treated throughout the series. But we'll see if Strip Chicken has what it takes.
It's the old, for League folks, it's the old, they're up until they lose the game, they're winning. Yeah, so we already got a burst coming out from the side of Soul. Exactly what we were talking about. Zaichion doing a really good job of winning neutral pretty quickly out of the gate. One counter hit does come through for Strip Chicken, but doesn't make anything come out of it. Conversion gets dropped. That's okay. PRC trying to frame trap. Using a lot of meter there, specifically on frame traps and pressure resets. Tricky movement with a PRC to get the fake cross up.
Yep.
That's unfortunate.
Zaichion, I think, might lose their life here. Oh no, unfortunately, he's not going to do the right combo. Yep, that is a double overhead set. What a backdash.
One more touch either way. There it is. The overhead coming up from Zaichion manages to squeak that round out right from under the command grab.
Yeah, Strip Chicken was making that very close, though, and a really good in-air to start this off. All right, that's going to be a very important part of the matchup going forward. It's like trying to condition with far slash here is going to be pretty difficult for Soul if Zaichion is just going to be pushing 5 feet like that, 3 frames. So definitely going to be putting that in, try to beat some of these frame traps.
Ooh, speaking of frame trap, walk up, no button out of Zaichion baits the button from Strip Chicken, gets a counter hit. One other thing I think I saw a couple times so far, Zaichion is either trying to IBFD or just using FD on these neutral far slashes. FD creates more knockback, which means Soul gets out of range from follow-ups a lot of time, especially if you're just trying to do far slash into far slash stagger pressure.
Yeah.
Which means that you're creating whiffs, creating spaces, and Chipp is so good at capitalizing on those sorts of spaced out situations with his fast movement speed.
Yep. You know, FD definitely very strong against Soul, but the one thing that he did get in this patch that definitely benefits that situation is that they did buff his 5H to a degree that is quite unholy, if we're being honest.
Oh.
Even at full F, like, I think you have to just FD to avoid the frame trap. Like a regular FD at a pretty close range far slash means you're probably just, you can still get frame trap by 5H. But Zaichion's not afraid and still pushing that 5P trying to get out of that situation. Now 5H.
The conversions. Wall bounce doesn't quite come through. PRC to cover makes safe, and frame trap coming out of Strip Chicken gets Zaichion to just a sliver of life. One more touch either way.
Oh, that is the worst, not the right button to press there.
Okay, maybe 2 buttons.
Oh,
there it is.
A nice 6P on the cross-up jump H. That was super good awareness there from Strip Chicken.
And he kept his burst, or got a new burst through the round. That's going to be a whole lot of damage. A smooth 50% out of Zaichion's life off of one little conversion. That's 3 counter hits in a row so far. Can he convert this into a kill? Not quite.
Oh,
that is going to do it with the meaty throw.
A wild throw right there, man. Crazy stuff. I actually do think Zaichion did go for DP there. That was a punish on the throw. So whatever he pressed, he got tossed.
I love to see it. And this is kind of, I think, playing out how we expected, right? Zaichion winning neutral pretty frequently, but getting, look at that damage, maybe 35, 40%. Not nothing. Positive bonus is very good on Chipp. It means you get to use more FD, means you can reset your pressure more and more often with Roman cancels, but 1 or 2 interactions, just like right here, means Zaichion is down to about nothing.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Zaichion here. Strip Chicken has made some very good adjustments to Zaichion's neutral and defense, and is now starting to just run him over here.
Yeah, and I like that you're pointing out that it's mostly in neutral, right? It's neutral and winning out on small interactions. It's not a lot of escaping Zaichion's crazy pressure sequences or anything like that. It's spacing and it's preemptive play, putting out buttons when you expect Zaichion to approach, and winning out just off of footsies.
Yep. And that's definitely a trap that some Chipp players can fall into, right? Like the character is built to be fast and predictable, but because of that, sometimes they fall into habits because they just assume that one of the run-up options is going to work. most of the time. But as we've seen with Strip Chicken's adjustments, that is just not the case. Saichion needs to find another way to approach here, or another way to prevent Soul from getting that big hit.
And the jump in, JK is making things happen here. Looked like he was setting up for a wall slump. Didn't quite find enough hits to get all the way there, but one or two more conversions like this, doesn't need to use the burst. Save it, Strip Chicken, take it into the next round. Good call.
Yep.
Saichion. This is the first time we saw that pressure really get overwhelming.
Yeah. All right, here we go. The throw. Yeah, the throw by something. Oh no. Oh, unfortunately, I'm not sure why Strip Chicken would go for that. If you're close enough to get that that close slash, you can go for car DP. And the burst bait from Saichion there.
So good. Now we do see meter on the side of Striped Chicken. Has to expend it on neutral. Keep himself safe. Saichion has the meter to expend here. There it is. The hit confirmed into the Alpha Rush. Zaichion's on the board. That's 1-2 now. And I think that was a really good adaptation from Saichion, right? A lot of aerial approaches paying off where they didn't before. Not getting counter hit on the grounded approach is a big deal too.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, that was just insanely good stuff from Saichion there. Adjusting right back, changing up that offense a little bit, and kind of throwing Strip Chicken off. And now we're on to game 5. This is going to be good.
Saichion coming in out of the gate. Going a little bit, I think there's a fake cross-up. Might be a 50-50. I'm not exactly sure how taking the corner works with Alpha Blade, but either way, DP does keep the pressure going. Ooh! Okay, so that RC allows for a really good mix-up from Saichion. You can go high, low, or throw. It's a three-way guess. When you throw there to keep pressure, but doesn't end up mattering. Strip Chicken gets out of the corner, gets that pressure back in his favor, gets the damage in, gets the round.
Oh yeah, Saichion going for that cross up there. Definitely very difficult to block in the moment, but okay, here we go. That bar slash is like deceptively good at anti-airing. It covers so much space.
Its hitbox is so much taller than its animation.
That being said though, an amazing Strip Chicken in an air throw. Oh, I'm not sure what Saichion was trying to do there.
Oh, you're so dead. Oh no, if that had been a heavy volcanic Viper clean hit, that might have been enough damage. Instead, Saichion gets one last chance here.
Oh, okay, the jump 2K. Oh.
The DP comes through, hits behind him for the
Insanity. It's like the bad guy from Far Cry 3.
Look, Mike Saftig's playstyle is I'm a wild out so hard you don't know what to do. Which is going to be a little hard against Idom, who's just a super solid player, but coming out with the footsies, Mike Saftig getting a counter hit in neutral. I guess today is far/counter hit day? Who knew?
It might be, man. Just might be. And already getting the burst out of Idom here. Oh, it's okay. Trying to go for double Fafnir here, but Idom not going to let that one slide. DPing before the stain could even be a factor. Good stuff from Mike Saftig. And honestly, representing a reversal option early is really smart if you play a DP character. Like just blocking it out in the beginning is fine. But if you want to really condition on defense and force them to try to RPS when you wake up more, definitely representing DP early, good idea.
Yeah, it means your opponent has to respect the option. Idom getting the hit confirmed, going into the super. Doesn't quite get the wall break though. Engage some mid-range, try and get the zoning, but the aerial volcanic Viper gets the opportunity for Mike Saftig to close out off the volcanic Viper in the air. Oh, I love it.
Amazing. I guess we're going to have to call that jumping, because that's basically what it was. It was just with the DP, and you know, we're just all going to have to live with that. All right.
This is what we're talking about, though, right? This is the Saftig special. This is how he plays the game. He plays the most guilty here.
That's true.
He did not pay $60 to block. He's going to DP. He's going to use whatever the rushy low-profile thing is to get under your throw, take your life away.
Ooh, try to actually bait the burst there, too. But yeah, Mike Saftig definitely like the most soul player to play Strive, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Embodies the spirit of soul, no doubt.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm missing a couple of these meaties with the fireball. Costing him a little bit of pressure here. Mike Saftig only at 1 HP. Teleports out of the corner to avoid that. Oh, okay.
Oh!
That was good. That was a great PRC.
That was very, very good. The 5D was going to whiff. The PRC cancels out the recovery, opens up an opportunity. Idom converts just off of a opening up an opportunity by accident. We take those. Big whiff, though, is going to come out for Mike Saftig. Doesn't land the DP, which gives Idom a perfect opportunity to cash out the damage, get the wall break, get the positive bonus.
Ooh, Idom actually missing the safe jump there. Mike Saftig getting away with murder a little bit.
And it's Skull.
Oh,
good throw tag.
Fat.
50+ frames.
That would have been a wall break there. Good burst from Idom.
Ooh, that was a really tricky little interaction there. Mike Saftig went for a jump in and expecting an anti-air, because Testament's anti-air 6P is extremely strong. He decided to PRC backwards to try and bait it out, but Idom, instead of going for the 6P, threw out the crow and ended up winning that interaction, predicting the fake out. What a wonky interaction. That was really cool.
Yeah, a very unfortunate drop there from Mike Saftig at the end that led to his demise, but it's Mike Saftig, definitely a player that can bounce back from stuff like this. And yeah, that's going to be really important in this matchup too. A Testament Fireball beating out Night Rage Vortex is so important because Soul typically beats zoning characters by low profiling under stuff or an RPSing that with jump in or with dash block. And not being able to go for Vortex when you have meter against the zoner is definitely one of his weaknesses in this matchup.
Yeah, and we've already seen the Vortex pay off a couple of times, so Idom understanding that that's an option Mike Saftig wants to represent and reacting accordingly is really, really important.
Yes.
Going back to some Guilty Gear grounded footsies based neutral.
I mean I mean we are seeing neutral. That's definitely true. But I would definitely not say that this is interactive for Mike Saftig. Like, this matchup is definitely not incredible for Soul when you're trying to push away on Testament. Like you're kind of seeing Mike Saftig, he's kind of just like jumping around, like trying to air block something just to get close. Then every time there's an opportunity, space is created again and again. And Idom really trying to get in the winner's top 8 here.
I appreciate Mike Saftig is really using every tool Soul has available to try and skip neutral. We've seen that Idom is really, really strong in neutral just from those fundamentals, but also Testament as a character has really strong spacing, really large buttons that let them dominate neutral. So Mike Saftig with the Vortex, with the Bandit Bringer, with some PRCs off of a lot of movement options, trying to skip that phase entirely and get into advantage, which is, I think, a really good way to approach it. It means you're trying to play into your character's strengths and not play into your opponent's strengths in return. That said, Idom's just really good at the game.
Yes. Idom, an incredibly smart player, so Mike Saftig's more interesting playstyle might just not phase him. A lot of what gets Mike Saftig a lot of mileage against a lot of players is that the unexpected nature of some of his plays can definitely throw you off. But if you're someone as solid as Idom is at fighting games in general, you can adjust to playstyles like that very quickly. Well, unfortunately, a bit of an awkward hit on the super.
Yeah, Idom's been doing a really good job hit confirming these small little stain pops. It's one of those very fundamental skills for a Testament, right? You got to be able to make sure you cash out appropriately when you do get your hit. But I'm impressed with the consistency of it. That said, Mike Saftig gonna get on the board here.
My goodness, and a round taken from Mike Saftig here. Nice confirm off the throw as well.
Yeah.
Very good damage. Oh, and there's
Neutral
Vortex.
skip Vortex.
Yep. Now it doesn't work against Fireball, but it is very, very effective against Crow. Like if a Crow comes out, you can usually react with Vortex and you can make it whiff. Here comes the super. Look at all of this damage. Only gonna need maybe just one throw here, actually. And there it is. That mix-up is so messed up because the canceling the 2-hit JH into landing low or throw, so messed up.
Yeah, I've been seeing more and more Souls utilize that mix where you can Bandit Revolver or Bandit Bringer into the air so you can get PRC into either overhead low or throw after a fast cancel. Burst coming out of Idom already off of a Vortex being a counter hit. Good idea. You will blow up if you do not burst that.
And know. It looks like Mike Saftig's entire game plan is just centered around knowing the right time to go for Night Raid Vortex, and it is honestly doing wonders right now.
Yeah, I respect it. Having a linear and focused game plan can be really, really beneficial when you're playing at this high of a level, right? The more focused you are, the more you're looking out for opportunities to enact your game plan.
Yep. And I just want to point out the 6-8 to end that round. Super smart by Mike Saftig to trade with the bar slash. Really, really good awareness. Oh, and actually it's going to call out the gunflame there. Great jump.
Oh, the little taunt in there. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, Mike Saftig getting a little saucy with it. But Idom getting the DP bait. Procs the stain. You get the stain reapplied with the overdrive. Break this wall. I believe there's a safe jump set up for Testament here. Hopefully.
But just going to go for the EXE Beast there. But going to end up finishing it off with a bar slash, catching an attempt at a dash block. Mike Saftig now potentially final round of the set.
Anti-air pops the stain as Mike Saftig is trying to escape the corner. Already down to 45%. Both should have burst available before the round is over. There it is for Idom, but if this is a combo conversion for Idom off the next hit, that could just be the round.
Oh, and the burst is going to come out, so this will knock Testament back, but the super is still active, which means Stain will still be applied. Great Night Raid Vortex once again. Oh, but a bit of an awkward conversion. Oh, and the
Approach with the fast red RC. Going into the air again. RC tried to convert off the Bandit Bringer, but couldn't make it happen. Go into the air again. This man is flying around like Milia. Makes the conversion happen. We got a set on our hands. This is some good Guilty Gear.
Absolutely. Mike Saftig making those adjustments to his neutral and to his offense. And the adjustment of catching Idom's backdash right there. Idom has not represented backdash that much in this set in general, but Mike Saftig has represented throw quite a few times on offense at the beginning of those pressure sequences. So Idom going for that backdash, Mike Saftig predicting it in turn.
Oh, the damage. Ooh, doesn't convert entirely. Stagger pressure finds another counter hit though, so Idom's still under pressure in the corner. Preemptive 6P.
Oh my god, anti-air bandit. This guy.
Mike Saftig has just been rotating between Bandit Bringer and Vortex as the two neutral skips, right? He has one in the air, one in the ground. You got to figure out which way he's going to try to approach. If you keep out incorrectly and he lands a counter hit, you explode. I really, really like the way he's representing these two options and rotating between them.
Okay. Mike Saftig wants to stay on the winner's side here, but Idom fought to get that 2-0 lead. Does not want to go down to losers here after working so hard, and is going to be getting the super confirmed. Really good anti-air right there.
Yeah, that's something we haven't been seeing a lot. When Mike is going into the air, he's landing most of the time. Idom hasn't been getting a lot of 6P usage to land. That's one of those really, really strong tools for Testament. Whiffing the throw just barely out of range. Catching the toes, going to match point.
I think unfortunately my man Mike Saftig was trying to go for Bandit Revolver there, but got DP kick instead of quarter circle forward kick. So we are going to be going to the final round. Oh, but a great anti-air from Mike Saftig. Not enough height to get the full combo. Pushing Idom to the corner, trying to make sure that he does not lose advantage here.
I want to track the meter usage. Doesn't matter. The meter is not going to be relevant after a big counter like that.
Oh,
Baits the burst. Burst. Enough damage. That should be enough with a wall break. It is.
And oh my god.
Why would I? Aris on the Kai. Smitty's on the Happy Chaos. Mr. Musty, who plays Kai and Sin. Tell me a little bit about this matchup.
This matchup is pretty difficult for Kai. A lot of his special moves are not useful. Fireball is obviously outclassed, as most fireballs are against Happy Chaos. Booter Arc is very difficult to use outside of pressure as an advancing tool. You still have access to Stun Dipper just like any other matchup. And even though you do have access to that, that's like about the only mid-screen tool that's like super threatening against Happy Chaos. You also have access to 2S and stuff, but you have to get in that range first, and that is difficult for Kai to do.
Yeah, we just saw it there. Aris was trying to do the Kyle Kiesk special of run up and do something, and Smitty was like, nah, that's not how we're going to play this, and shot him in the face and got a whole bunch of conversion, took his burst. He has no burst meter, and now he's going to look for those looping wall slump setups that we saw in the first game. It's rough out here, not gonna lie.
And then another aspect that can be a little bit difficult for him is that Kai is mostly just strike throw conditioning-based pressure, so it's definitely going to be a little bit harder to force a Happy Chaos to try to stay down because the reward on it is so good for him. But yeah, and that is a very, very, very quick game one for Smitty.
Absolutely. You know what? I don't want to take anything away from Smitty. Like the character is good for sure, but Smitty played that real well too.
Oh yeah,
really good job zoning Aris off of his approach attempts. Now we're seeing Smitty go for some absolutely nasty mix. Aris did a pretty good job of trying to get out of there though. Had a turn of his own, but didn't manage to make anything happen out of it.
Aris is really trying to find an opening here, but is just unable.
Ooh.
Oh my god, and the burst is baited. This should kill.
Who thinks to bait the burst? What was that damage?
Yeah, that was just everything going Smitty's way right now. Aris is struggling.
Yeah, that was a very, very short little confirm at the end of the round there, so there was almost no scaling on that super. And that super's damage is very backloaded onto the last shot, so I shouldn't be as surprised as I am, but still. Now, Aris on the offensive here gets a wall break, getting the positive bonus. Positive's really good on Kai, because Kai really loves being able to hit confirm and try the lightning to chain positive into itself, kind of like you saw there.
Yep. That was a very, very, very good round for Aris there. Everything going right.
And now it's over.
Well, I wouldn't say over yet.
No, the good times have ended. It is now the happy
times
chaos.
have ended. Oh, and the Aris throw right there to call out. He's on H. And yeah, just gonna get a wall break in the super here. So he's just running the fade. And there's no end in sight.
Aris has a shot here. Just have to survive the mix. That's not going to happen. That roll cross-up is so quick. It is reactable. You can technically throw it on reaction or block on reaction if you're looking out for it, but the way the shots work out, the timing can be very, very tricky, and if you're being overwhelmed by Happy Chaos mix, it can be really difficult to react appropriately.
There we go. We have some more fireballs coming out. Trying to 6H over that, but that Happy Chaos 2K, so good. Doink, doink, into super. Everything, once again, goes Smitty's way.
Yeah, and Aris's burst was a little questionable there, seemed a little bit preemptive. Smitty seemed to be going for not quite as intimidating a pressure as I think Aris was anticipating. Smitty bursting out themselves now, covers the 5D whiff with a shot. Aris fighting out of the corner admirably, but not quite there. One more round for Smitty.
Yep.
Gonna try and make it happen.
Yeah, Smitty doing everything right here. Aris was able to get around in that last game, but the momentum just did not seem to carry over, and Smitty is honestly just does not seem to be afraid of anything that Aris could throw out right now. Like, the confidence is astounding. Yeah, big down hit. Super.
Gonna be lots of damage. Already topped up on resources. Full focus, full grip of bullets. Gets a safe jump opportunity. And the safe jump also leads to mix with the JD, because you can pogo off their heads. Aris with the burst and a grip of meter, though. Doesn't need to cover themselves on the whiff. Finds a throw. This might be the start of something.
I honestly respect the attempt from Aris to try to bait out a button there, because Smitty has been trying to mash out of the, was mashing out of the pressure during games 1 and 2 a little bit, but nonetheless, Smitty gonna call it.
Bodies gonna be swinging at each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, this matchup is pretty interesting. Not incredible for Potemkin. Goldlewis has a lot of tools that can just try to kind of just straight up invalidate him, and this is one of those situations, right? Trying to block this pressure and deal with this as Potemkin is not great, but trying to maybe potentially trying to bait a reversal super there, not going for Garuda. Oh, here we go.
Good situational awareness from Diegubis too, noting that Goldlewis wasn't going to be able to media appropriately, going for the throw on the wake up, so I like it. Big old pressure coming out on the Garuda impacts. The FD does buy space for Cheeba, but doesn't end up mattering as Diegubis finds another hit out of the spacing. Heat Knuckle closing it out. That was pretty back and forth. I definitely agree that Goldlewis has a pretty good matchup here. The Behemoth Typhoon is pretty strong, you could say. I think most people would agree it's not a bad tool, But against Potemkin, who has limited mobility options, the ability to have strong keep-out options that also convert into massive damage is a very strong option.
Very good. I'm loving the air-to-air from Cheeba there, and this is going to be Diegubis taking yet another set of pressure sequences. We're going to buck the low, but is this going to take the throw here? Not an amazing situation. Has to start FDing or you will lose your life. Tries the 2S out of that situation, hoping that Cheeba would go for a run-up, but the 684 comes out, and that is just going to end the round right there.
Yeah, that chip damage is just a monster in the corner. Even if you got Potemkin health and guts, it's gonna get to you eventually. You can't FD forever. If you just choose to only use uninterruptible Behemoth Typhoons, some of them are interruptible, some are not. It can be very difficult to defend when you have no life to spare and your meter is dwindling. Burst out of the overdrive to create space, get your meter back. No conversion ability for Potemkin in that situation. RC here for Cheeba, leading to huge damage and reversing the situation in the corner.
Yeah, no, Cheeba just getting this pressure sequence started once again, and Diegubis has to save a little bit of this meter, but they're going to get tagged by the 684 on an attempt to escape yet again. And honestly, Diegubis is playing this matchup pretty good. We're seeing a couple of preemptive heat knuckles to try to call out those jump Ds, and it did work a couple times, but once Diegubis starts blocking those Behemoth Typhoons, it is not an amazing situation.
Yeah, absolutely. Being able to stuff out the JD is really strong. JD is one of Goldlewis's.
Honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you. I wasn't looking at the life bars. But we're going to be going into a game 3 either way. We'll see if Diegubis has made any adjustments throughout those games.
Alright, Cheeba trying to get in. IBFD finds room for Diegubis. That's a tool that we didn't see represented before. It's a very, very good one because, again, we were talking, Goldlewis has to get in. IBFD is a really good way to knock someone out.
Yep. That was a really smart IBFD, too, because it pushed Diegubis out of the range with 684, and it got him a whip punish, but... Oh, wow! Uses the one hit of armor. Cheeba, unfortunately, a little bit of autopilot right there. Man, here we go.
Do it again. Do it again. Okay, fine. Meaty works too. The flag. Is that a frame trap or is that natural? I think that's a frame trap, right?
I want to say that's a frame trap. It probably also just caught Cheeba's jump. Was most likely trying to look for instant jump D there, but let's see if Diegubis can keep it up because he did win the first round of that first game, but then Cheeba forced him to block, and then things kind of started to fall apart.
It's Smitty in chat's telling us the room rankings say it's 1-1, so it looks like it's 1 apiece. Thank you, Smitty. Appreciate it. Oh no, Behemoth Typhoon on a counter hit is a big deal, but doesn't convert into too much. Does get the pressure running though, and we've seen how this can be effectively a checkmate situation in Goldlewis's favor. Run up throw, headbutt him a few times. It's kind of impressive running up and headbutting someone who's wearing a metal helmet.
Yeah, honestly, dunk, dunk, dunk.
Yeah, I respect it. I don't think I'd have that confidence.
The hardest forehead in the Americas, man. That's why he's the Secretary of Ultimate Defense. So,
absolute defense. Excuse me.
Absolutely. I was going to say, if it was Ultimate Defense, he would not play the way that he does. But
this is cool. Alright, Diegubis has burst on hand. Cheeba should get it back before the round is over. Risk is falling on every accord. Diegubis finds a way in. Ooh, gold burst.
Yeah, Diegubis maybe trying to bait that at the beginning of that there. Oh, no.
That could have been a lot worse. That could have been a full conversion, but Cheeba didn't quite find it.
Yep, and I'm noticing a bit of a pattern here. Goldlewis has a lot of really quick ways to break armor, like canceling into a 684. Seems to just be really effective at stopping like an armored approach. Oh,
that was so close to working too. He read the jump out, but the timing wasn't quite there. So Cheeba happened to already fall, so you whip into the air and it has such big recovery. That was so close to being the hypest read of the night.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Definitely an interesting call out from Diegubis. We have been seeing a lot of jump Ds from Cheeba in those situations, but unfortunately it's not going to work out, and it is going to be a 2-1 lead for Cheeba. See if Diegubis can make this work. And we were talking about how Pot isn't really that good at zoning. He does have some big normals in the form of like far slash and 5H, but they're kind of slow. Decent amount of whip recovery, and Goldlewis a character that is honestly pretty good at covering the space that you would want to 5H in, because you can just go for jump D, or you can move punish with 684. And once again, like the odds are just a little bit stacked against Potemkin as a matchup here. Oh my goodness. Oh no! That was a Potemkin buster, 100%.
Good pressure sequence, though. That was just pure strike throw coming out there for Diegubis to close that round out. Not usually what you see out of a Potemkin. I mean, obviously, grapplers are always strike throw, right? That's exactly what they do. Like that, the Kara Pop Buster coming through for big damage. Cheeba already down below 50%.
You are insane for going for that 5D there. A Garuda impact lands on hit. We can Kara to combo. Not quite going to be able to kill. Needs one more. Garuda.
Flick.
Oh, and the small enough gap to get the gold burst out. I like that this isn't from Cheeba. Needs that to win this round here, but yeah, we're just gonna push 5P. Get out of here. Game number 5.
Really good awareness for Diegubis there. The idea behind going for the overdrive into Behemoth Typhoons into pressure is that there's a lot on the screen and it's really ambiguous visually. It's hard to tell how plus or how interruptible Goldlewis is when you got a big old blue laser on top of you. So Diegubis having the presence of mind to keep an eye out for that, and then just get a quick little jab in there to close the round out. I can't do that.
Oh, tries to reset with Potemkin Buster a little bit too far away. Luckily for Diegubis, though, does not get punished. Cheeba now running that pressure sequence. Oh, and just a 5K counter hit. That's gonna. Oh, well, it would hurt. It would have hurt.
Oh, it still hurts though. This chip is still real. That meter is running real low. Diegubis needs to act. Using up all the meter with the Gatling gun to go into the JD to close the round up. Cheeba can turn through so much meter from FDs.
Yeah, potentially Diegubis' final round in winners if they cannot find an answer to Cheeba here. Cheeba just playing this lead now, does not want to approach too much. Getting tagged by Slidehead, but as long as you block that first move from Potemkin, most of the time, whatever he does after is not that scary, especially if you FD the close slash. Oh my god, these
uses the armor again.
These calls with Hammerfall have been so effective at stopping Cheeba from just playing the distance game. But that being said, Diegubis needs to make something happen right now. It's slowly getting away from the air-to-air jump S. Will seal it. Good confirm from Cheeba. And that is a 3-2 victory. They will move on to top 8 winner side.
I think I heard that. Did anyone cash out on it?
No.
Oh,
Sadly, no.
Well, you know what's much less sad this next game between Chetoo and Strip Chicken? We got Leo, we got Soul, we got Gorilla on Gorilla action. Both these characters want to kill you dead. Both these players want to kill you dead. So I'm expecting some swinging, I'm expecting some counter hits, I'm expecting some damage.
Yep. Yeah, and Chetoo. Yeah, just gonna try to avoid the throw early. And like I was saying earlier about Soul, for a lot of characters like him, I definitely think it's not a bad idea to represent the weird options first. Like in general, because then when you start doing the more standard stuff, which typically will end up leading to more damage on successful hit, it definitely works out better if they're conditioned to expect something silly first. But Chetoo. Oh, and that instant block is so solid. If you instant block the cross up there, like throw will beat literally every option that Leo can do off of that back turn except for backdash.
Yeah, and it's especially an easy assumption to make after you just saw Chetoo going for what, like 4 or 5 cross-ups in a row. You suddenly look out for it, and especially if you get the IBFDs in there too, you can get a lot of space created. But Leo's perfectly capable there too. That slash, that heavy slash, both cover a lot of distance. Very, very strong neutral for Leo. So getting IBFD'd out is generally a vast improvement over having it in the back turn mix, but it can still hurt.
Oh, and the flash kick just gonna come out there, and that is a bit of a struggle for Soul in this matchup, right? He's so strike throw based and has so many like small gaps in his pressure. You're gonna be seeing a lot of Leo flash kicks to deal with it.
Yeah, and even if you're not going for natural frame traps, you still want to use stagger pressure as Soul, because if you can get a stagger pressure payoff with a counter hit, it leads to immense damage. So Leo having access to the flash kick, as well as the back turn counter and the guard point in neutral, it's not crazy in Soul's favor with all the neutral tools and defensive tools that Leo has that honestly Soul just doesn't.
Yep. I like that we are seeing a lot of instant blocks and IVFDs from Strip Chick. It shows that he has a lot of matchup knowledge on defense here. But Chetoo has just been adjusting to it very quickly and adjusted his offense almost immediately. So I'm wondering if we're going to be seeing just some regular blocks mixed in, or if we're going to try to see some DPs thrown out in some of these pressure sequences. Because Leo, a character, while you can kind of mitigate his offense, there's no way you're going to be able to stop it every single time.
Yeah, Leo's mix and Vortex is really, really scary. We see here the stagger pressure coming out, adding a little bit of space to the mix, trying to let the neutral play out. Spacing comes out in favor of Strip Chicken, though. Ooh, an air throw for Chetoo. Well done there. Good awareness to see the approach coming from the air.
Oh my god, the whip punishes from Chetoo right now. So good. Flash Kick going to be able to finish, and that is another round going in his favor. Strip Chicken, I think now, instead of struggling the pressure, is really struggling to find a spot where Chetoo is throwing out a button willy-nilly and is unable to get that whip punish to start the pressure.
Alright, pressure starting up for Strip Chicken. Trying to play the mid-range, but Chetoo is perfectly capable there as well. Flash Kick comes through. Are we getting the back turn? Nope, goes for the slash instead of the heavy slash approach. Wall break means we're going to have a full grip of meter for Chetoo.
Smashing 5P. Chetoo is not respecting the pressure at all. I'm honestly wondering if maybe the adjustment for Strip Chicken here is to start going for throw in like the beginning of pressure.
Yeah.
Because right now, like, Chetoo is just waiting for like the moment that there's like a gap in the block string to throw out a 5P or a DP, and it's kind of like really messing up Strip Chicken's stagger game. And I think if you start the pressure with something that he can't block, it'll be a little bit harder for him to predict your offense.
Yeah, it's similar to what we were talking about before with representing DP early in a set to force your opponent to respect it. By representing the throw half of strike throw earlier, you're forcing your opponent to say, yeah, that's something he could actually do. I have to keep an eye out. But the DP coming through for Strip Chicken forces him to burst when Chetoo is going to get a big punish.
Ooh, okay, Chetoo starting to jump out a little bit now. Oh, and it's... Yeah, Leo is a very, very good situation off clash cancel there, because even if you commit to the block when you're going for 2D, if you get that counter hit, so good.
The YRC coming through from Chetoo when Strip Chicken is going to represent the fast Roma cancel off of Bandit Bringer or Bandit Revolver rather, is really, really smart. That mix that's that three-way high-low throw mix we were talking about earlier. It's really, really difficult to react to if it's possible at all, so I really like spending the meter there. But now Strip Chicken has a big opportunity on the DP whiff. You know what? Just do it again.
Oh, I think, honestly, I think the wild throw was the right call there. Just a little bit too early from Strip Chicken, and a close slash coming up from Chetoo, not respecting that at all. Ooh, nice air throw. Strip Chicken starting to make some adjustments to the defense here. Chetoo starting to represent jump a lot. Oh yeah, okay, a burst bait attempt there, but Chetoo not going to bite. And is going to have burst for this final round. Might make it a little bit tough for Strip Chicken going forward.
Yeah, I really like that decision. No hero burst coming through today. This is a really important resource, especially against Soul, who can blow you up so quickly after just one or two confirms. So keeping the burst for the next round, great idea. Especially when you're getting your pressure off into a nice wall break so quickly into this round. Have the positive bonus, have the meter in your favor, convert. Oh my maybe
goodness.
Not.
Awkward combo. Alright, goes to the double overhead. Oh, and the frame trap with the Bandit Revolver. Not gonna lead quite to a kill. No wall break either. Matches 5P on wake up there, and this is absolutely going to finish unless...
Ooh, not quite.
Oh, and a trade right there. So unfortunate for Strip Chicken. Had the right idea on the button press, was just not spaced correctly. And without the proper...
Any of these counter pokes that Itachi's Legacy is throwing out. Wow, the patience to wait for the kite, but still comes down with a button, does Itachi's Legacy. Are we going to stay same side? Yes, we are. We're going to go for the throw on the reset. A second throw? That was going to be 3.
Yes. You always go for 3.